What's up, everybody? This video is going to be about 5 things that we absolutely love about Grand Junction and 5 things that frankly we could do without. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Robert Hayes, and along with my wife Christie, we are the Hayes Home Group right here in Grand Junction, Colorado. And today we're going to talk about 5 topics that my wife and I absolutely love right here in Grand Junction. And again, 5 things that we really could do without. But first, if you are new to this channel and you are looking to move to Grand Junction, start now, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Tap that magic bell, that way you're notified every time we post a new video. And if you are looking to move to and relocate here to Grand Junction, make sure that you give us a phone call, shoot us a quick text, send us an email, whatever you need to do. We've got your back when moving to Grand Junction. All right, let's get after it. So what I'm going to do is talk about the 5 things that we absolutely love about Grand Junction and give you the pros and the cons. And then I've got one that's right down the middle. I'm neither for or against. And there's also a topic that I know some of the locals, if they see this video, they're going to comment below. We're going to be honest and talk to you about that as well. All right, number 1, there are endless outdoor activities for you to do here in Grand Junction, Colorado. You've got boating, hiking, mountain biking. You got skiing in the wintertime. You've got Aspen a couple of hours away, Telluride down south, Moab's about an hour or so off to the west. So as far as an outdoor playground, it is here for you in Grand Junction. In fact, we just did a video called 7 Sports in One Day, the Grand Day. Check that one out and you'll get an idea of how many things that you can actually do as far as outdoor fun here in Grand Junction. All right, what's the flip side to that? What's the con? Well, guys, this isn't LA. This isn't New York City. That's exactly why we moved out here, and that's why most people choose to move out here. This is not a hustle and bustle, keep up with the Joneses, the rat race. It's a totally different scene. It's a little slower paced, and that's exactly why we love it. All right, number 2. The weather here in Grand Junction, Colorado is absolutely phenomenal. We have a ton, an abundance of sunny days year-round, almost 250, sometimes more. So when you compare that to other parts of the country, we really lead the pack there. Now, when it comes to January, December, January, February, it is cold. It's gonna be sometimes in the single digits. Overnight temperatures, even in the daytime, it can get down into the single digits. So there's a couple of months stretch there where you're really looking to maybe get into some warmer weather. That's when my wife and I head out on that Allegiant flight to Las Vegas. It's like $38. Now you add in the airport fees and the seating assignment. If you don't want to sit on the wing, you're going to be paying probably about $100 round trip. But it will get cold. So if you don't like the cold for a couple of months out of the year, don't move here. I mean, it's just not something that you're going to enjoy. It does snow a little bit, about 15 inches. We did a video on the weather, so it's really a limited amount of snowfall, and I actually in that video was sweeping the snow with a broom off the driveway, the first little dusting of the year, and that's going to be pretty typical. Now back to the pro side, you get all 4 seasons here. So if you like having a summer and a fall with beautiful orange and reds, if you actually like a winter during the holidays, a little dusting of snow for the scenery, and then it starts to warm up again during the springtime, then you're going to absolutely love it here. All right, let's talk about number 3. And this one comes directly from my wife, Christie. I have no horse in this race whatsoever, but I get her point. We have a super charming, historic downtown Main Street here in Grand Junction. I mean, this is an area where Doc Holliday and his gang used to ride through town 100 and so years ago. So there's buildings down there that are in the early 1900s, some even built in the late 1800s, I believe. So it's just super cool, super charming. The beef, the con for her is the gals are really limited as far as the clothes shopping that we have here in town. I mean, we've got a Kohl's, we've got a couple of downtown stores that have some, according to her, some cute clothes. We're not going to have a Nordstrom here. We're not going to have a Macy's, a Saks Fifth Avenue. You're going to have to go to Denver, 3 hours away to go do that, or Salt Lake, or what Christie does. Check this picture out. This is when she brought an empty suitcase with her on that round trip flight on Allegiant Airlines I was telling you about. It's about a couple $100 for two of you to go round trip to Vegas and back here. And she'll just fill that thing up to the brim. I'll have to sit on it to zip it up at the Miracle Mile Mall in Las Vegas. She'll come back to the hotel and say, look at the 8 earrings I got for 15 bucks. So that's really what she does when she wants to get kind of the, the designer, clothes and dresses and whatever it is that she likes. So again, the pro to that is it's okay. You can find it. You can go to Denver. You can go to Vegas. You can go to Salt Lake. When you do that weekend trip to go see a football game, stop at the mall or the Nordstrom's and you're all set. But I would not replace that for the downtown historic charm that is our main street here in Grand Junction. All right, we're up to number 4. There is no traffic here in Grand Junction, Colorado. So compared to where you're at now in LA, Dallas, Denver, Chicago, wherever it is, and you're used to that 45 minute commute, the con is you're not going to be able to do those books on tape in your car that you might be using, your motivational books. That's just not going to be possible here in Grand Junction. So if that's something that you're used to, you're going to have to cut that out of your morning routine because it's an average of about 8 to 12, 10 minutes to and from work here in Grand Junction, Colorado. The other con to that, even though there is very minimal or no traffic here whatsoever, the traffic that we do have, it's pretty odd at times. So you could be going in a 40-mile-an-hour zone and there's a car doing 18. You could be in a 25-mile-an-hour zone and you can be behind someone doing 50. So it just depends on the area and what time of day. But as far as having no traffic at all in the commute time, I'll put that in the pro side all day long. All right, so we've made it to number 5. The housing cost here in Grand Junction, Colorado is about half of what it is in Denver, Colorado, and probably about a third of what it is in Southern California, and even probably a fourth in Northern California. So that's the pro. Now the flip side of that is people are starting to really take notice across the country with the housing opportunities, with the job growth, the tech companies coming in, the millennials that are really starting to understand the growth at Colorado Mesa University. People are starting to take notice. So that's the flip side. That's the con. We're seeing the growth rate, especially since I've been here for the last 12 years. The infrastructure, the expansion that cities had to accommodate, the influx of people coming in. Now back to the pro side. That's something that's not going to grow into 1 million people, 2 million people. It just can't happen here. So we've got the surrounding mountains on the east, the north, the south, off to the west. There's no room for 1 million or 2 million people here. So we'll take the growth rate on a slow pace. That's totally fine. But you're going to find that our housing is still, over the long term, going to be well below what the pace is over the housing cost nationally. All right, so here's that right down the middle, and that is the marijuana here in Colorado. It's legal here. Most of you probably know it is. So if you like smoking marijuana and that's your thing, it's legal here. You don't have to worry about hiding it. There's a dispensary about 5 minutes, 8 minutes down the road in Palisade. In fact, I think it's next to a pizza shop. But anyway, so if that's your thing, you'll have access to it, no problem. If that's not your thing, totally can understand why you wouldn't want to be exposed to it. It's not something that you're going to have to worry about people just walking around town just smoking joints all day. It's not that kind of exposure that you're going to have to be worried about. So again, we have no position on it either way. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about, and that's something that I know if some of the locals see this video, which I'm sure they will, let's go ahead and eliminate the haters and the comments that are going to come below, which is, are there homeless people here in Grand Junction? Yep. Now, it's not something that you're going to find all over town in every nook and cranny of the city. There's a certain area downtown that they like to hang out at, and it's unfortunate, and I wish we could help all of them, but we actually just did a transaction with a sheriff that's local here in Grand Junction, and getting to talk with him a little bit. A lot of these people, that's just their lifestyle. They don't really want to do anything else, and they don't want help. Wish we could help them all. Unfortunately, that's just not possible. All right, so I really hope that you've enjoyed this little video that we put together on the pros and cons of living here in Grand Junction, Colorado. And again, we are helping so many people and getting phone calls from people all over the country looking to move here and relocate to Grand Junction, and we absolutely love it. So if you are looking to move to and live here in Grand Junction, Colorado, make sure that you reach out and give us a phone call, shoot us a quick text, send us an email, whatever you need to do to get a hold of us. We got your back when moving to Grand Junction. And if you are new to this channel and you'd like to see these videos on a regular basis on what it's like to work, live, and play here in Grand Junction, Colorado, go ahead and start now and hit the subscribe button, tap that little bell, that way you're notified every time we shoot a new video. And until that next video, we'll catch you later.